Well, well, well. How you guys doing? Probably not the person you were expecting to hear on the other side of this camera, but you're stuck with me on this one. So, why, you might ask, I'm posting the video with a picture of me up here on it? Well, because I figured you would just miss this smiling face. How about we zoom it out over here into the corner? A lot of you have asked some questions about parts of circles. So I'm looking at your notes right here in front of me on my computer. I didn't want to pull the notes up on the screen here for you because it's busy. There's a lot going on. And so basically, I'm going to take you through one by one what each of the parts of the circles are. So bear with me here. I'm going to start doing some drawings. Okay, we do have a shape tool on here I found out last week. Yes, there it is. So here we go. We're going to start with just our good old plain old circle. And that didn't turn out so well. So let's redo that. See if we can make this a little bit better. Because I know there's a lot of critics out there that would... There we go. That's a pretty good looking circle right there. Now, I would like to think that the center of the circle is pretty simple, which is that guy right there. Okay, that is the center of the circle. Pardon, my finger keeps getting in the way here. I want to change out of the pencil. I just want it to be a regular pen now. Let's see if that's better. That's still pencil. Oh, well. The center of the circle is just that. It is the center of the circle. I'd like to think we can all figure that one out. Okay, now the next thing on the list is a radius. Now, radius and diameter. Now, I'm going to kind of group these two together. Diameter is the next one, the fourth one down on your notes. So I'm going to kind of talk about them both at the same time. Now, a radius is from the center out, just like that, on the circle. It's half of the circle. So a diameter, though, is the entire distance across. Actually, you know what? I don't want to do it that way. A diameter goes through the center all the way to the other side. Okay? Yes, I'm a little short right here. Okay, I get that for those critics. But the diameter goes all the way across. The radius goes just halfway across the circle. Okay? So that's radius and diameter. And the one thing I like to think about it is if you're looking at your words on your screen, diameter is a longer word. Radius is a much shorter word. Okay? And if you hear my dog barking in the background, I have no idea why. The 5 kids are on their own at the moment, and my wife's at work, so they'll figure it out. Anyhow, so moving on. Now, a chord, or as I prefer to call it more affectionately, a chord. Okay, I'm going to erase this here. A chord or chord. Okay, chord. A chord is simply a section of the circle. So a chord is going to go like this. It's going to touch one side and go straight across to another like that. It's basically, I think of a chord like slicing an apple, okay? So like if you're slicing an apple, you want to just slice off that chunk. But a chord is touching the circle in 2 points, okay? One on each side. It stops on each side. It could be down here, but it does not go through the center. Everybody got me on that? It does not go through the center of the circle. It's going to be somewhere on the edges, anywhere but the middle. It could be real close to the middle, but not in the middle. Okay, that's a chord, or as I call it, a chord. Okay, so we're going from one side to the other, and we're stopping. All right, erase that dude and my brilliant writing there. I forgot my stylus at school. Now I'm allowed to go get it, but they tell us, but don't come in if you don't have to. Well, I don't have to have it. I would just much prefer to have it. And some of us don't have those fancy Apple pencils like some people we know, the much older and bolder guy than myself. By the way, do you like my shave, everybody? The corona did it to me. So, hey, anyhow, okay, moving on. You're probably tired of hearing me already. So we're down to secant. A secant is going to look like this. All right. It is going to go through the circle. It's just like a chord. So again, this is a secant. It's just like a chord, only it keeps on going. And actually, I could even, if I suppose, we could put arrows on each side because that's probably what the math geeks of the world would probably want. Okay, so the secant is going, it's a line, you see by the arrows, going through, touching the circle in two parts. Okay, but it's not going through the center. So it's basically just a chord or chord extended. Okay, that's a secant. Erasing that. Alrighty here. Next one is a tangent. Okay, a tangent is generally what I go off on in class, which is about right. But a tangent is simply kind of like what we talked about. Don't go off on a tangent, because a tangent is a line that just touches the edge of the circle. Okay, and it's going to touch it just in one point. Now mine's a little bit off there, but it's just touching the circle in one point. But it is a line, okay, and it's touching it in one point, okay. Okay, back at you here. I don't think my video is playing anymore, but that's okay. So, now, so that's a secant, or I'm sorry, a tangent. This is a tangent. Sorry, the baby was knocking at the door. This is a tangent right here. It's going to touch in one spot, which is also called the point of tangency. Okay? The point of tangency is right where that tangent is going to touch. All right? So let me erase here. Oh, poor Max. He'll be okay. Don't worry, everybody. All right, here. So now we're down to minor and major arcs. Okay. These are not hard. A minor arc is going to be smaller than 180. Okay. So minor arc less than 180. And a major arc is greater than 180 degrees. And that's really important to remember in a circle, that circles are 360 all the way around, halfway around are 180s. Hold on a second. Okay, I am back at you there. I had to pause for a moment because, well, the kid, I'm telling you, it was big. He, that was one nasty, one nasty diaper that he just filled. So, well, I'm setting up another video here. We'll just kind of slide this one over here like that. Wow. I mean, I guess I'd have been crying too if that was in my diaper. So, okay. So Max is better. And we're back to recording. And we're here. So minor arc and major arc. Okay. So as I told you, less than 180, which would be smaller than a half circle, or a major arc is bigger than 180. Okay, so just to draw you an example, let me erase that real quick. Okay, a minor arc would be an arc that is made like this, and it's going to be this arc around that angle, okay? Now this angle is made from the center of the circle, but it's less than 180 degrees. And this is the one thing you need to make sure you know. So like if this is 92 degrees, then the arc out here also measures 92 degrees, okay? So a central angle, which is on down in your notes, a central angle is made from the center of the circle, okay? And whatever his measurement is, so is the arc going on the outside, okay? Now, so that again, that's a minor arc. Now, a major arc is going to look something like this. Okay, so we got a major arc. Here's our center. Let's say a major arc goes like this. Now, you might think that's a small one. Au contraire, we're going to ask about this piece of the arc. So basically, you think of it as we're going and we're bending backwards. This is greater than 180 degrees. Call it whatever you want. Call it 210. If that's what the angle measures, then that's what the arc is going to measure as well, is 210 degrees. Okay? So that's the difference between minor arc, they're smaller than 180. Major arc, they're larger than 180 degrees. And to me, that makes common sense. Okay? And we talked about a central angle, which, the central angle, again, is going to be made from the center of the circle. Now, the only thing that I haven't talked about yet in the vocabulary is the inscribed angle. Now, an inscribed angle is going to be an angle that looks like this. And I don't think we've had any problems yet with this, but it's going to come all the way across the circle like that. This angle X in here would be the inscribed angle, okay? Now, how we find that, figure out how many degrees they are or how big the arc is on the outside, that's a little different. It's real simple. I think we just divide by 2, multiply by 2. I don't know. There's a formula. I got to refresh myself about it. But that's what an inscribed angle is, okay? So, that's all the parts of the circle. Now, looking at your notes, it's one big picture and stuff like that. Just try to look at each one individually. Like, as I'm looking at your notes, the first one says LQ. Let's see, where the heck is LQ at? Oh, there he is. Okay, so LQ, just to get you started in the notes, and it's going to help you with your problems too. But LQ has a point here and then a segment like this. Okay, LQ, that would be a tangent. Okay, so they're just asking you to label. And the reason why it's a tangent is it's a segment or line, and it's touching a circle in one location. Okay, so that's just to get you started. And it also kind of tell you, angles, segments, segments are like LQ. They're going to have a line above it like that. If it says an angle, like NQR, well, obviously, the symbol here, for angle, we know what that means. We've done that before. The only new thing is like on number 5 here, it says RWU. And again, I think we can use a little common sense and know you see the arc over top of the 3 letters. That means we're talking about how many degrees is the arc going around it. Okay? So, that's all I've got. I thought I was videoing myself again, but I don't think I was. I think you could only just hear me. I don't think I hit record on the button. Oh, well. Please, 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 comment or email me or Mr. Houston back. If you comment on the Google Classroom, he and I both see it. For example, Tori said, hey, could you put up a video? She's about second or third person that's kind of asked about that. So I told him, I said, hey, I'll do it. Okay, so sorry you got the short end of the stick. But comment, email us back, or use Remind. He posted yesterday how to use Remind on the Google Classroom, on the geometry page. Those of you that are on my Google Classroom, you know how to find me. And I put it up on the board at school before we left last week, and I'll put it up here again. If you want to join my Remind, and it's like a text message, you know what it is, but it's by far the best way and fastest way to get in touch with me. It's at CHS Brooks. Okay? I've been keeping my email up pretty much all day long, all evening long, checking it as much as possible so that I could respond if somebody needs help. But if you use this, I'll respond a whole lot faster. Okay? So, try recording myself at the end of this. Maybe you can see me now. But there it is. Parts of a circle. If you have any other questions, please email, text us on Remind. Take care. Do not, last thing, do not fret about being confused or not understanding something. Guys, this is different, okay? I've taken classes like this before where I got to listen to the teacher speak and stuff like that, but you guys aren't necessarily used to that, and I get that. This is different. Just do your best, okay? Turn stuff in. You're not going to get axed on the grades or anything like that. Just try it. Do your best. Email us with comments or questions, okay? Take care. God bless. Have a great rest of your day.